You are now tuned.
Good to have you on the show. This is Omobola Stephen, the host of Lifewell Lift by Omobola Stephen. On Lifewell Lift by Omobola Stephen, we focus on topics on the personal development and self-improvement. We realize the importance of embracing personal development and self-improvement along the course of our lives. Because when we come to embrace it, we get to find ourselves along the path. And in finding ourselves, we get to realize there's so much innate potential and also possibilities that life has in its offering for us if we don't give up. Now, personal development and self-improvement is not going to happen overnight. It's the constant effort you and I need to put on in order for us to really see the life that we are truly meant to live in this side of eternity. The focus and the mission of Lifewell by Omobola Stephen is to share disruptive, yes, constructive insights that will transform your life from where you are to where you need to be, with experts and professionals who are adepts in the topics of personal development and self-improvement. Today, I will be focusing on health and wellness, and I have Olivier Mankondo, who is a professional speaker and author, weight loss and wellness coach. We will be exploring the topic on plant-based nutrition, how it can really change and transform our life if we allow it. Welcome to the show with me, Olivier Mankondo.
Okay, thank you very much for having me. I'm sure we're going to have a great conversation today.
Absolutely. I'm looking forward to a great conversation indeed, Olivier. So can you just tell me quickly about your discovery, the discovery about plant-based nutrition? How was the whole experience been?
Yeah, so basically what's happened is that before me able to find about the plant-based nutrition, my health was pretty bad. I was suffering from a lot of chronic diseases. I was suffering from high blood pressure, and people should know that high blood pressure is a very dangerous disease because if left untreated, basically it can cause 50% of heart attack and strokes. So I was suffering from that. I was suffering from severe headaches. So every day or every other day, I would have massive headaches. And in fact, I had to have some painkillers in my wallet all the time. I was suffering from dandruff, chest pain, back pain, abscesses, joint pain, and a lot of dental problems because of my bad eating habits. And because of all that, my health was pretty bad. And I went to the doctors, as everybody will do. And the doctor told me that I'll be on medication for the rest of my life. But luckily for me, at that time, I refused. I said, I'm not going to take all the medication, even though I didn't know what I know now. But I said, no, I found it very bizarre to be on medication for the rest of my life. So I said no. And one day, out of the blue, I was just watching a program on YouTube. And there was an Indian yogi who suggested that by stopping eating animal product, it was possible to reverse 70% of the chronic diseases. And that's how I got into this plant-based nutrition.
Now, you really found it bizarre to be on medication all the days of your life. And also, there's some folks out there too who really wish they can be in your shoe right now, enjoying the benefits of plant-based nutrition. But I like us to look at the flip side of it. For those, now we talk about reversing chronic diseases, which you explored and it really worked for you. Now, there are some diseases that are hereditary in nature. So how can we undo this situation? Because
from all the research that I've done and from all that I know is that it's only 5% of the disease which are genetic, only 5%. And when you look as well, when you start eating the right food, because all these genetic diseases stay dormant, but as soon as you start eating the wrong food, then you're going to wake them up. And that's why they're causing problems. But it's only 5% of the diseases that are genetic. All the rest, 95% are created by the way we eat, the way we think, and what we put on our hair and on our skin. That's basically what it is. So I really think that if you start eating the right food, things will go in a great way for you. Because when we look, for example, that all animals, they've got this specific species diet. all animals. But how can us human beings, we don't have a specific diet. We are supposed to eat everything. And I think that's not right, because what we think is that at the core, we are herbivores. And to be more precise, we are frugivores, just like the monkeys, the gorillas and stuff like that. For example, with the gorilla, we share 99% of the same DNA, but gorilla eats only fruit, vegetables, and tender roots. They do not eat meat. And that's exactly what we human beings, we have to do. So if we have to follow that diet, the plant-based nutrition, I'm sure we'll be able to reverse most of the chronic diseases. And for the diseases that are genetic, we'll be able to keep them very in a way that they're not going to really bother us a lot. That's what my take on it.
But really, what do you think, or what are the root causes of the health issues that the woman face today? I'd like us to address this.
Yeah, the root cause of all the diseases, personally, I think it's the first cause is the way we eat. Because when we eat the wrong food, it creates lots and lots of problems. I'll just give you, for example, when we start eating animal product like meat, fish, chicken, and all this. When you look, you will see that the bowel transit time for this food are too long. For example, if you eat a piece of meat, a piece of fruit, it will take 3 to 4 hours to pass through a system. If you eat raw vegetables, it will take around 12 hours to pass through a system. You eat cooked vegetables, it will take between 24 and 30 hours to pass through a system. But if you eat meat, fish, or chicken, it takes 72 hours or 3 days to pass through a system. And when you look, for example, you take a piece of meat and you leave that outside for 3 days during the summer, you will see that it's going to start rotting. It's going to smell bad and stuff like that. And when you look at the internal temperature of a human being, it's 36 degrees centigrade or 98 degrees Fahrenheit, which is hot. So because the animal product takes too long in the system, it starts creating loads and loads of problems. And you will see, for example, when they say in the system, it will start rotting. And that's why you will see a lot of people smell bad. You will see they've got, even, for example, they've got foul odor coming from their mouth, even if they brush their teeth as much as they want, that odor is not going away because of all this rotting stuff. And when you look as well, you will see that meat has got no fiber and it creates constipation. And because of all that, people will start suffering from high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer, Alzheimer, Parkinson, arthritis, and all the autoimmune diseases. This is for the meat. When you look at the dairy product, you will see that in the whole creation, you will see that human beings are the only species who drink milk from another species. You will never, ever see, for example, a cat drinking dog's milk or a goat drinking cow's milk, because every milk is specific to its own species. And for example, when you look at the cow's milk, it's containing loads and loads of estrogen. And when we people will drink cow's milk, the level of estrogen in our bodies will go very high. And we'll start, for girls, they will start suffering from breast cancer, uterus cancer, ovarian cancer. And for boys, it's going to be prostate cancer. And as well, if you look at the processed food, you will see that all these processed food are full of additive, coloring, flavoring, preservative, which are chemical substances not recognized by the body, and they create havoc. So you can see that the root cause of the health, the bad health that we have, reside in the food that we eat. And as well, we can add the way we think. If you keep having negative thought, you keep having negative emotions, all these things will make your body produce cortisol and adrenaline. And cortisol will impair your immune system, and adrenaline will make your heart beat irregularly. So when you look at all these things, that's the root cause of all the bad health that we go through as human beings. And if you look, for example, at the animal in the forest, they eat the specific diet. And when you look at them in the forest, they've got no vet over there. And usually they are, for the most part of their lives, they live without being sick.
Thank you, Olivier, for that perspective. And talking about animal diet now. Now we're focusing on plant-based nutrition. But really, as you've been emphasizing, eating of meat, got a lot of, it takes a toll on our health. Talking about the negative aspect. So, how do you think we can begin to evolve this animal-based or animal diet lifestyle we have been used to? Do you suggest that we should begin to balance the two diet lifestyle or focus on one? Because I tell you, it's not easy for us to begin to have this mind shift.
Yeah, so exactly. The first thing that people have to do is to have the right mindset. When you start saying to yourself that, oh, stopping eating animal product will be difficult, or I'm not going to be able to do it. Yes, your mind will make sure that it's difficult and you're not going to be able to do it. So the first thing is to adopt the right mindset when you say to yourself that change is possible, that I'm going to be able to make the change. And what people need to understand is that if they want to stop eating animal product, you don't have to do that overnight. You have to go step by step. You have to reduce that very slowly. And the key is to do that consistently. For example, if you are used to eat meat every day, maybe as a beginning, you can start eating 6 days a week. One day you don't eat meat. And then you let your body get used to it. And then maybe after you decrease that to 5 days and then to 4 days and stuff like that. But what people need to understand is that I'm not necessarily advocating for people to completely stop eating animal product, even though that's what I'm doing. But what people need to understand is that the less animal product you eat, the better your health will be. So if, for example, someone can not stop eating animal product, maybe they can eat that twice a week, for example, and they need to eat that a very small amount and use that just as a condiment. So that's what people can do if they cannot completely stop eating animal product.
But really, I'd like us to go forward with this discussion, especially animal diet lifestyle. You really wanted us, that's what you're advocating, plant-based nutrition, which is the way to go. But let's look at it. Some school of thought opines that it's very, very expensive to manage this kind of lifestyle. Because when you want to focus on plant-based nutrition, some of these nutritions are very, very expensive, and also some of them are not accessible the way it ought to be. So what's your own thoughts on this?
Yeah, so what people need to understand is that they need to know what is their priorities in their lives, because people will find the money to buy a new iPhone every year. People will find the money to buy big TVs. People will find the money to buy cars and stuff like that. So for stuff that don't really matter, people have the money. But when it comes to your own nutrition, then it becomes too expensive. So that's the problem. People need to start looking at how they can prioritize the money. But I understand that, yes, if you have to compare to animal product and all these things and processed food, yes, the whole food is more expensive. And it's because when you look at the animal product, it's subsidized by the government. The government around the world, they subsidize this meat product. That's why they cost less. But if you look at the plant-based nutrition, yes, they cost a little bit more, but at the end of the day, you're going to make more. You're not going to spend in the long run, in the sense that when you are sick, you will have to buy medication, you will have to go through very expensive operations and stuff like that. But when you eat the right food, even if it's you spend a little bit more money, but in the long run, it's going to save you a lot and a lot of money. It's like me, since adopting this plant-based nutrition for the past 8 years, I've not been sick a single day, not even a headache, nothing. And for the past 9 years, I've not taken a single pill, not even an aspirin or a paracetamol and stuff like that. So you can see that for the past 8 years, past 8-9 years, I've already saved myself a lot of money by not being sick. And that's what people need to understand. And for example, for people who are overweight, because when you are overweight, it brings a lot of diseases like high blood pressure. You can suffer from diabetes. You can have problem with your kidneys and stuff like that. But by just adopting this plant-based nutrition, I've been able to lose 77 pounds or 35 kilos. So you can see that I've been able to reap a lot of benefit, even though the food cost a little bit more, but the benefit outweighed the cost of the food. So that's what people need to look. They need to look at their priorities instead of, for example, upgrading your iPhone every year. You can save that money and buy your food so that you can be in good health, because there's no point of having all those luxuries, having a nice car, having a big house, if your health is suffering. So that's what people need to really see at what they need to put their priorities.
So what will you say to the environmental factors? Does it play a major role in the wellness or the overall wellness of man? Because when you talk about plant-based nutrition, how it has been effective in your life, because you really follow it back to back. But don't you think that environmental factors also come to play here in terms of those who want to follow or begin to consider plant-based nutrition, but they are also experiencing a stressful lifestyle? Incorporating these to plant-based nutrition, how does it work?
Yeah, so for people who are already stressed out, for example, like I'm saying, maybe they can introduce the change very slowly, and then maybe you're not going to really feel all the stress about changing your lifestyle. So the key is to do very small changes, but you need to be consistent. And because what will happen is that the compound effect of your small changes will make your change very big. And what I think as well is that when you start eating the right food, basically what will happen is that your body will start working in a different way. Maybe even all the stress that people go through will go really down, and you'll be able to really become more peaceful internally and stuff like that. And for example, even if when you look at animals who eat grass, who eat vegetables and stuff like that, you will see that they are more peaceful. For example, you look at the cow, you look at the rhino, you look at the giraffe, they are not really, these animals are not really aggressive. They can become aggressive if they have to defend themselves, but as naturally, they are very peaceful. And that's what people need to understand as well, is that when you start eating all this plant-based food, you become very peaceful as well. And there were even an experiment we were made in a prison where there was lots of violence and stuff like that. And as soon as for a week, for example, they introduced the plant-based nutrition where people were not eating meat, and they could see that the level of violence went down. So it's possible to just introduce these changes very slowly to really minimize the stress that people can go through by just changing the way of this way of eating.
Absolutely. Now, is there any downside of plant-based diet? I mean, negative effects, if there is?
Personally, I've not found any. I've not found any downsides because, like I said, for the past 8 years, I've not been sick a single day. It's not only me. People who have been able to adopt this lifestyle, my client and stuff like that, all of them are reaping benefit from that, because it's like I keep saying, this is the our species diet. So we're not doing something strange, that what we are supposed to eat. Because, for example, let me give you an example. Let's say, for example, if they put you in a very big enclosure, they put you with a live cow inside. They give you no knife, they give you no tools, they give you no fire, and they tell you that that cow will be your food for the next 2 weeks. I'm sure after 2 weeks, people will come and they will see you that you will not be able to eat that cow, because we are not biologically designed to eat meat without without using tools, because we will need knife, guns, and stuff like that if we want to eat meat. But for example, if you put a tiger in the same enclosure, it's going to be a feast for it. But on the other hand, if you have to eat a mango, you have to eat a pear, you need to eat an apple, you don't need any special tools. So we are not biologically designed to eat meat. And that's what really what I'm trying to say.
Quickly, so how is wellness linked to health?
Yeah, so wellness is linked to health in the sense that when you are eating the right food, you are basically going outside, exposing yourself to sunlight, you are breathing fresh air, you're in contact with nature, you drink enough water. When you do all these things and you exercise as well, you rest as well. So when you take all these things, which is wellness, all this will improve your level of health. So that's the way wellness and health are linked together.
Olivia, do you have any exciting news or any projects you think it's going to be beneficial to my audience? This is the right time for you to do that, if there is.
Yes. So what I can say is that the first thing that I would like to do is to send to your customers a free gift, which is my 7 tips to lose weight. These are the same 7 tips that I've used myself to lose 35 kilos or 77 pounds. I'm going to send you the link so that you'll be able to share that with your listeners or of your viewers so that they will be able to benefit from that. And then as well, I've written my book, which is the plant-based nutrition, which the plant-based nutrition, how it's going to change your life, which is on sale on Amazon. And people will be able to buy that on Amazon if they want, or they can go on my website, which is oliviermankondo.com, and they can purchase that from there as well. And the benefit is that on my website, it costs less and you get 5 more bonuses as well. And for people who would like to dive deeper, basically they can book with me a discovery call. And on the discovery call, basically we're going to explore their goals, their priorities, and their health concern. We're going to discuss the diet history and have a look at their current lifestyle, including their routine and habits. We will also going to work together to identify any limitation and change them so that we can create a plan of action that overcomes this limitation and set them on a path toward achieving their short and long-term goals. And also during this discovery call, we're going to establish if there's a good fit. And if that's the case, then there will be an opportunity for these people to work together with me so that we can address all these issues once and for all. So basically, that's what I would like to share with your listeners and your viewers if they're interested to book a discovery call with me.
All right. Can you share the website and also your social
Yes.
media handles? We love to connect.
Yes. So for my website, it's oliviermankondo.com. That's oliviermankondo.com. And people can find me on TikTok, on YouTube, on the Instagram, on Facebook. They just have to type my name, Olivier Mankondo, and they will be able to find me. I'm all over the social media.
It's been great indeed having this discussion with you, Olivier Mankondo, you professional speaker and author, weight loss and wellness coach. We've been talking about plant-based nutrition and how it can really change our life. I really had a worthwhile time with my audience, listening to your expertise and also your sharing your professional experience with my audience, how we can really get it right. We wish you best of luck once again, Olivier, in your book project, the subsequent projects that you embark upon in the near future.
Okay, thank you very much for having me. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you for your time once again and your valuable contribution to the topic of discussion. If you'd like to catch up with any missed episodes of the show, really you can do that on any podcast distribution platforms. You bump into online or any cross-promotion platforms you bump into online. Just search for Omobola Stephen, and I guarantee you're going to have a great time as you listen to topics or subjects that are related to personal development and self-improvement that are going to transform your life, really indeed. I need you to stay safe always. I'll talk to you soon. Thank you once again, Olivia. Good talk.
Okay, bye-bye. Thank you.
Sure.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode.